To CryptosRus, I am George. We're all George. So welcome to another Market Open stream. Today we got to talk about Bitcoin and how this indicator signals a massive breakout pump. One that we haven't seen since 2016. That's right. So let's talk about this. Also, let's talk about why Doge is up today. And let's talk about everything else that's going on in the world as well. So let's do this. Welcome, guys. The market bell has just rung. And today in the US, things are looking a lot better. Much more green. Yesterday was really red, especially for tech sector, including likes of Tesla, which was almost down 10% yesterday, starting off the day pretty good. Also, Coinbase down 9% or 8% yesterday, up almost 2%. So today is a definitely recovery day. And I said yesterday made no sense. People just took profits, panicked. There was really no reason for such a massive drop yesterday. Okay. But you know what? Whenever there is one, it's just a great buying opportunity, a great time to be picking up. And whenever crypto does the same thing, whenever we have red days, it's a good day to pick up. That's really the best way to think about it, okay? But today, you know what? We got a lot of news, a lot of stuff going on. I couldn't help but notice this. We got John Bollinger, who's the creator of Bollinger Bands. Well, he's been talking about Bitcoin and how there's a squeeze happening, okay? And this one that he's talking about is mimicking what happened in January of this year when Bitcoin went up 40%, okay? So this is what it looks like. So basically you have an upper band, you have a lower band, and when the two comes together, causes a squeeze and something imminent is about to happen, okay? Now, where does he think things will go? Well, he's looking at a couple things, and he's also looking at other indicators that does indicate that Bitcoin could go up to either 34,000 if it's following the head and shoulders pattern or reverse head and shoulders pattern, or this flag, which could bring Bitcoin up to 37,200. That, of course, is short term and could be imminent, could be right around the corner. However, someone else also looked at Bollinger Band on a longer time scale, okay, and realized that, you know what, we haven't seen this kind of squeeze. It's the tightest Bitcoin's ever been since 2016, okay? That was when Bitcoin was recovering from $160, and at that point it was in recovery around $300-400, and then we went up to 20,000, right? So we haven't seen this kind of squeeze really since 2016. Bottom line is something imminent is about to happen, something volatile. There's going to be a breakout one way or another. You could argue that it could break out downwards or break out upwards. I think it's going to be upwards. I think it's going to be marvelous. We've been stuck around 30,000 for a long time now, okay? Over a month. And, you know, to put that into perspective, waiting a month isn't that long, but when you're in crypto and you're watching it every single day, it does seem like it's been so long, like a year, right? No. It's only been a month since we first cracked 30,000, and you know what? We've been consolidating here for quite a long time. Volatility dissipated. That's good. But since then, we've seen a lot of altcoins come up, like XRP and Cardano and Solana and Stellar. They have come up, right? So we've seen a little bit of excitement. But the next piece to this is Bitcoin. We're going to see Bitcoin make a new leg up. And the timing of it should be very close. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. All right. Now, besides, oops. Uh-oh. That didn't show up. Okay, well, we have this. Here's another chart. Again, this one is not Bollinger Bands, but this is just looking at previous cycles, right? And previous times of accumulation. And what happens after accumulation? Well, again, right? That's when the next leg begins and we get into a very bullish phase, the parabolic phase. And that's when things become really, really exciting, right? So good stuff. And of course, so many people are bearish. No. Bullish. Well, there are some people that are bearish, right? There's always going to be people that are bearish. But you have a lot of people that are very bullish, especially long term, right? Morgan Creek Capital CEO Mark Zusko thinks that Bitcoin will get to 300,000. Okay, he says he doesn't care. Doesn't care if it's today, tomorrow, the end of this cycle, and the next cycle. He truly believes that it will be 300,000 someday, and that will put about half the market cap of gold, which I think is very conservative because eventually Bitcoin will reach the market cap of gold, which would put it right around $600,000, $700,000, right? So there's a lot of people bullish, but he's even being conservative because Cathie Wood, who has been talking a lot about Bitcoin, truly thinks that Bitcoin will hit 1.5 million by 2030. And that's only 6.5 years. Okay. And she's been restating that she's more bullish now than ever before. So she doesn't even think there's going to be a bear case or really a base case. It's really just going to be a bull case. Okay, so just think about that. I mean, there are so many people that's so bullish right now. And of course, the miners are bullish. Miners outflow, meaning the miners, what they're selling right now, it's like nothing. Okay, they're keeping everything to themselves and addresses holding at least one Bitcoin. Up and up and up and up, all-time high, right? More and more you guys are becoming whole coiners. I know that. You even say it in the chat. You're like, I finally got to one whole Bitcoin. That's awesome. That's awesome. And more people are recognizing how important that is. That's why the addresses holding at least one Bitcoin continue to go up. And again, people that have more, congratulations. But people that don't have one Bitcoin and is trying to accumulate, it is massively hard, okay? Basically, you have to have $30,000 worth of Bitcoin to have one whole coin. That's not easy. I can't stress how hard that is for a normal working family, okay, or working individual. It doesn't matter if you're in the US, or Australia, or UK, or Asia. To have $30,000 worth of Bitcoin is enormously hard to do, okay? So the best way is to DC a little bit over time. That's the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, if you're trying to cash out 30,000 to do this, very, very hard. Now, besides Bitcoin, we know we have other good movers. People have been asking about Chainlink. Chainlink has been on fire recently, right? It's mostly because of this, CCIP. So Chainlink's been hyping up the CCIP protocol for a long time. Years upon years upon years. I remember talking about this for a very long time. And now it's out and a lot of people are excited about it. And what is CCIP? It's a new protocol. Okay, it's a new protocol for dApp makers to be able to do cross-chain communication utilizing Chainlink's Oracle system for messaging. And messaging is very important, especially with DeFi projects. And this is across all the major EVM chains like Arbitrum and Polygon and Ethereum and Optimism and so forth, right? And why this is different than like a bridge protocol is because this is not a new set of validators. This is utilizing the Oracle validators that Chainlink already has, which has been very, very robust and it has proven itself. There has been many that have tried to hack Chainlink. For obvious reasons, because if you could control the price feeds of Chainlink, you could basically hack any exchange and any DEX out there. You can manipulate the price. And we have seen other DEXs go through this when they don't use Chainlink. When the price feeds data gets affected in some way, right? So Chainlink has gone through many years. They have survived like massive spam attacks and other ways to try to hack them, and it hasn't happened. So this is really good. So really good. This is the reason why Chainlink is going up, in case you guys missed out on this big news, which was released a few days ago. And also, the founder of Chainlink, Sergey, thinks that this CCIP will bring trillions, you know how I say trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars flowing in? Well, he believes trillions of dollars will flow into crypto from banks as they explore new ways to either transfer their money or get into DeFi, okay? One way or another, this is going to help them bring trillions into the space. Trillions with the T. That is a lot. That is a lot. Also, just to give you guys an update on Ethereum, since we haven't talked about Ethereum for a while, but this is fantastic. Almost 23% of Ethereum is now staked, okay? This has gone up quite a lot since the beginning of the year, okay? Even January, it wasn't this high. It's mostly because of the upgrade, the merge. And then since then, people realize, well, it's not so scary to stake ETH anymore, right? So now the percentage of ETH has gone up. It was like 14%. Now it's staggering at 22.5%. Now, this is still nothing compared to, say, Cardano or Solana or BNB. They're like all above 70% in terms of staked, right? But keep in mind, Ethereum is a little different. Many people still utilize liquid staking like Liddle and Rocket Pool, right? And there are a lot of ETH also staked into bridges. Almost every bridge out there is a bridge for Ethereum, so there's a lot there too. Plus, now you have this, so that's also making ETH the circulation of ETH very tight, and plus the burning that is still happening. So this is all fantastic. And then lastly, last minute news. You know, I couldn't help notice people are asking about Doge. Doge is up about 10% today. Why is that? Well, I mean, the only thing I could find is this. People scout Tesla's source code for things, for payments, for example. They have removed Bitcoin, but they kept Doge in the source code. Okay? Doesn't mean that they opened it up again, but you could see crypto, Dogecoin. It used to be Bitcoin and Dogecoin. Now it's just Dogecoin, right? So what does that mean? Well, you could use Dogecoin to buy certain like accessories from Tesla right now, right? But not cars. And a lot of us are waiting for Tesla to open up Bitcoin payments once again for Tesla cars. But maybe Elon has other plans. Maybe he's going to make it so you could buy Teslas with Dogecoin, right? And I think this is the reason why it went up. So I can't find anything else. Other than maybe just people are just stocking up on Doge right now as well. I don't know. But it's always good. It's always good to see like a community, the Doge community in this case, feel good. Feel good about what they hold. All right, that is pretty much it. Today, markets are barely in the green. NASDAQ recovering a little bit, Dow barely. The entire market cap is kind of holding a little bit upwards, maybe because of Doge, right? You have a few good movers, Polygon and Polkadot, right? Both up about 4 or 5%, so that's pretty good. Chainlink, I talked about Chainlink, still up, staggering 19% today. That's fantastic. Stellar, which I talked about yesterday, still up 10%, although they're down from their previous high. And, you know, overall today's a mixed day. We'll take it. We'll take it. But that breakout for Bitcoin is imminent. Imminent. So, waiting for that. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Let's see if I missed anything here. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking about Doge this morning. I think it's due to this. All right. So, and Peter asked me about Pax Gold. No. You don't need a crypto to be backed by gold. All right. You just don't. I know Paxos is a trustworthy company. But still, no need to buy something that's backed by gold. I'm sure Chainlink will go to a new high with the next bull run. I think so. Elon is trolling. Remember Doge symbol on Twitter. Hey, there still may be something. With Twitter. We don't know. When will you do a TikTok giveaway? I've already started doing it, my man. So hopefully you've been playing. $10,000 by the end of the year, but you know, clues for entries every single week on TikTok. All you have to do is watch me on TikTok. Right there, I have it pinned. I have it pinned on my Twitter, also in the description. Right, this week's entry is really easy. I know a lot of people, almost 5,400 entries. That's fantastic. All you have to do is follow me on certain platforms. But you know, the secret code week 1 was very difficult for a lot of people. I gave some clues there, right? But week 2 is really easy, and we're gonna try to make it easier so people, you know, don't freak out and pull their hair out trying to figure it out. It's not supposed to be that hard, but it's not supposed to be that easy either. It's just a lot of money to be giving out. But yeah, it's in the description. It's on Twitter. No excuse not to participate. Why oh why? Why, despite nano transaction speed faster than Bitcoin, no one talks about or uses it? Does it have any future to be adopted? Are you talking about the project Nano? It's just no one cares about them anymore. I don't even know if they exist. They were supposed to be a currency, a day-to-day use currency. They're using DAG, kind of like IOTA. No one talks about IOTA either. You know, so yeah, just because it's faster doesn't make it better. There's a lot of chains that's faster than Bitcoin. You need that mass adoption. You need that loyalty from the community, and you need to trust, right? Nano, I mean, they were renamed as something else. It's been a long time since someone asked me that. Christian says, getting married tomorrow. Any advice? Run. No, I'm just kidding. Congratulations. Yeah, hopefully you found the right person, and you guys will have a very happy life for a very long time. And that's all I could say, you know. One thing I will say though, make sure you guys have your finances in order, and make sure you guys talk about your finances. I don't know why, like for me and my wife, it's always been pretty simple. I never hid anything from her. Very open, right? We talk about money. These days, it's mostly me making the money, but still, you know, we never really fought. We didn't have any arguments, you know. But I just hear from so many other couples that's not the case, right? You have separation of accounts, and then people, you know, one party or another, you know, thinks it's not fair, or something happens, and people fight over money. When you're a married couple, I just don't see how that's possible. I get if you're not married, right? But yeah, also this relates to a show I've been watching called How to Get Rich on Netflix. And it's just all these couples that have all these problems, financial problems, and they don't even talk to each other. Christian, make sure you don't fall into that trap. All right. Jolamas, once you hit your profit taking threshold, where do you keep your profits? It doesn't matter. You could keep it in a stable coin. You could keep it in fiat, Jolamas, right? Do you put your cash into an index fund or bonds? No, because if you do that, then it's not in cash anymore. Anything that you put it into, right? You think bonds are safe or index funds are safe. No, because they're still considered investments. They could go down. So then it's not really cash. Cash is cash. Sometimes you do need to have some cash on the side, right? But if you put into bonds and you have to sell it at a loss, or you put it into funds and sell it for a loss later, then that's not really cash and defeats the purpose. Gen X, come on now. Come on now. Let's not be like that. Financial problems is the quickest way to destroy a marriage and relationship. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's the thing. I can't believe how many couples struggle talking about money. Not just struggling with money, talking about money. Right? Because I don't know, these days, I guess everyone's looking out for themselves. People are used to managing their own money, but even our family and friends, right? It's like they have separation of accounts and then everything's split 50-50. I'm like, that's like a business partner. That's not a, life partner, right? So many people I know, it's like, oh, whatever I make, I keep. Whatever she makes, she keeps. And then we just, split everything down the road. If we take a family vacation, we split it 50-50 or, stuff like that, which for me, I know a lot of you guys may think that's normal. For me, I think that's weird, right? Again, that's like a business partner. Like if you have a business and you have partners and you have to split everything up evenly, okay. But like in a marriage, no, because you're going to have one person make more money than the other. It's always going to happen. You're not going to have two people that make exactly the same. And then plus, if your wife stays at home more, right, or the dad stays at home more, of course, they're not going to have the opportunity to make more money either, but it doesn't mean that they're not working, right? So it's like all these things are weird, and then you have weird spending habits with one person spends more than the other on what they want and not contributing to the family. There's just a lot of weird money issues that goes on. I just feel like couples need to figure that out. They need to find a system that works for them. Oh, what happened there? I'll keep this up. Niels is asking about Verge. No. I gave up on Verge a long time ago. Just because it's going to be mined out in 3 months does not mean it's good for the price. There's a lot of crypto that have a set supply, and there's no more. Doesn't mean that it's really makes a difference. You got to have people to use it. Verge was, it was too hyped up, pumped up by McAfee when, during 2017. And, there was a lot of controversy. They paid like $2 million to be on Pornhub, and then like that was the worst deal I've ever heard. And they struggled with money. The team didn't have enough money, and they were asking the community to donate to them and all this stuff, all this weird stuff. They've been hacked before too. I'm like, no to Verge. What happens when you have 3 wives? I don't know. That's a problem or a gift I've never had experience with. Lou says, my wife makes way more than me, and we're happy. We talk about money and contribute based on our earnings, so it's still equal. It's about communication, right? It's about communication and finally something that works. Like one of the couples that from the show I'm watching, where the wife clearly makes all the money, she's the breadwinner, and then the guy is staying at home to take care of the kids. And there's nothing wrong with that, except she controls all the money and he gets nothing. So he's like, I don't even have, I can't buy anything, right? Like she gives him no money to do anything. And, you know, and then she doesn't appreciate him staying home watching the kids, which is very daunting. Those of you guys that have done it before. It's very time consuming and it's a very hard job. So, you know, like in that case, they resent each other because she feels like he's always asking for money, her money. And for him, he's resenting her because he doesn't get to spend anything, right? Like that makes no sense. So, again, you know, you guys have to figure it out. That's the key. Communication is key with marriage. I like to give marriage advice. No, I don't. I'm not a couples therapist. The house is still coming along great. Today, they go dig for the pool. So after this, I'm gonna go over there and see and film that. But yeah, it should be done in a couple months, hopefully. Stay-at-home dads are pathetic. It just worked out that way. He wasn't a loser or anything. It doesn't seem like it. He's an engineer, but because she was making way more than him, they had to decide who's gonna stay home to watch the kids. So, you know, they decided he was gonna stay, right? Do you expect the parabolic bull run to start at the end of 2024, beginning in 2025? I would say it starts mid 2024, like after the halving event. It always does. Like it's either on the dot or like a few months afterwards. So I would say mid to end of 2024 when it starts. Daniel says, worst possible situation, man staying at home while wife works. There's something to that, right? I know everyone wants like equality and, you know, there shouldn't be a problem with dad staying at home, right? But, you know, there's something about that dynamic that doesn't seem like it works. I don't know. I don't know a lot of people, but I do know one of my wife's good friends is the same thing. You have the wife who's the breadwinner. She makes all the money. She controls the money. And then you have the husband, which is like stay-at-home dad. He does take side jobs and so forth, right? But she doesn't respect him at all. Like she treats him horribly, even in front of others. She would just yell at him, berate him, treat him like a second-class citizen. So much so that a lot of times it makes us feel very uncomfortable to be around them. But they were always like that, even before they were married. And I don't know why they got married. But I've seen dynamics like that where the wife, the woman just does not respect the man because she makes more than him, right? But I'm sure that still happens in many marriages where it's fine, but based on the few that I've seen, it doesn't work. This conversation just went off on a tangent. This Q&A went off on a tangent. Ryan, I need advice. Been holding off in Canada, leaving Binance. Can you speak to Kraken? I haven't used Kraken for years, but I hear they are a good, reputable exchange. So yeah, so there's that. My wife's boyfriend is fine with her not working. Eric says it's not a natural dynamic in human life. In early times, our natural gender roles got us so far. Men hunt and protect. Women would tend to the kids and cook. Yeah, I mean, women will always be the better nurturer. That's for sure. I mean, I don't think anyone debates that. "100% divorces start with marriage." Well, you got a point there, I guess. You go if you're in Canada, you go still use Coinbase. Coinbase is still up in Canada. If you have to get out of Binance, I think Gemini's in Canada too. Gemini is a good exchange that a lot of people overlook. Gemini is pretty good. Do you know why FedNow used Metal blockchain? No, and I haven't heard that. I'm hearing that they're using Ripple. My wife and I aren't having kids, so that's why this works for us. Well, it's okay not to have kids, but you know, you two still have to worry about your finances, right? Yeah. My wife doesn't love BDC, so guess who isn't getting the keys? That's funny. That's funny. What about Algorand? Is there any chance? Yes, now that, you know, XRP won the lawsuit and is no longer deemed a security, well, something like Algorand definitely has a chance because it means it isn't a security either. And same thing with Cardano and Solana and others, right? But Algorand has been weak, even before the declaration. You know, there's not much going on in Algorand. Even AlgoFi, the biggest DEX, the biggest DeFi project on Algorand is closing down, voluntarily closing down. That just shows you there's not much going on in Algorand. Why is BCH and LTC moving up so quickly? They're not really. But the reason why they got a little bump is because there's a new exchange, EDX, which was created by bankers or banks for institutions. They support BCH and Litecoin. That's why. I once asked you if you ever admit publicly being wrong about XRP. First of all, I don't remember that because I don't know who you are. And second of all, I'm still not wrong about XRP. I've never been wrong about XRP. It's still very, very, very centralized. Their business model still sucks. Those things have not changed. But I did root for them to win. And I said it would be a big catalyst for the entire market when they do win. Okay, so I'm not wrong. It's just you're either ignorant or you don't watch me enough. Should I buy Doge today? No, you probably shouldn't after it pumps up 10%. How much is the green Mini Cooper Lego set worth picking up? It's retired. I have it. It's a nice little car, but I don't know. Retired sets, sometimes they go up. They go up sometimes quite a lot. Let's see. Tesla. Ooh, Tesla's still down today. Coinbase just turned negative. They were both positive. What's going on with NASDAQ? NASDAQ just turned red. That's no good. Yesterday was brutal for NASDAQ. Down 2%. Bitcoin affected slightly. There's really no reason for NASDAQ to turn... Oh, now it turned green. Really no reason to be selling off tech again. I'm just so bullish for the rest of this year. I really think tech sector is going to be massive, and same thing with crypto. I think the money is going to start flowing back in. Very, very bullish. John, that was kind of fun. Kind of fun to talk about marriage and finances and stuff like that. Which presidential candidates do you think owns crypto? I have no clue. I do not keep up politics. Not something I care about. Seems like no matter who you choose, you're going to have people that hate them or hate their decisions, and you'll never find a perfect candidate. And you know what? I don't think anything ever changes, so I stay out of it. The only thing I pay attention to is macro. I look at how regulations, right, affect the macro environment and how the macro environment affects crypto. What do you think about my portfolio? 100% in H-bar. You're doing yourself a disservice. That's how I feel. BTC does not protect privacy. Sure it does. Sure it does. If someone gives you an address, how do you know who they are? Just because you could track transactions doesn't mean that you know who they are. It's like if someone gave you a mailing address, right? But you didn't know who lives there. It's the same thing. It definitely does give you privacy. So there are coins or chains that give you even more privacy, so you can't see any transactions, which is great. But don't make the mistake that Bitcoin does not give you any privacy. That's false. Do you think it's weird that SEC doesn't go after privacy coins? I mean, SEC, that's not their job. SEC goes after security. Okay, securities. Any coins that are securities. They don't just go after things just because they're a privacy, you know. That's not their thing. Now, the Justice Department or anyone else can if they think there's something shady going on, right? But, yeah. No. All right. I think that's pretty much it. So, today, happy Friday. I didn't say that yet. But, you know, Bitcoin still going sideways. There's an imminent breakout happening soon. Bollinger Bands agree with that. And we haven't seen this kind of tightness since 2016. That's what she said. And then, you know what? There's a lot of other good stuff happening with Chainlink, with DOGE, with everything else. So stay strong, my friends. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And that's it. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. And we'll see what crypto does this week. All right. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.